creating enormously more money, almost doubling a practice with only recall alone is what we have done already 30 years ago. Doubling and tripling your business is completely and utterly in reach within a year, and I don't care how big your practice right now is, more or less. Let's talk recall. Patients recall if you happen to be a dentist or any other type of doctor who needs to be recalling patients. In the thousands of charts which you have laying there, there is literally millions of dollars laying in there. You have lots of money laying there on the table. You know very well, if your patients would more or less come back for the service they need, for the service they have in their mouth, you would be making money. For some dentists, if they just would come back and do their $1,000 insurance a year they're getting or some such number, just for that alone, many of you, not all, would be very happy and increasing drastically. So what about if they then, however, do above and beyond that $1,000 insurance, because they do fix that one extra root canal, that one quartum of periodontal disease. It's a selling matter, it's a case acceptance matter, but it's also a matter of returning, because as more often that you can tell a person something, as more likely eventually you will have to change. In fact, 30 years ago, my main program was recall and patients referral. It wasn't new patients marketing, even though we did it and we became pretty damn freaking good at it. Patients recall and referral, because it kind of goes a little bit hand in hand. Creating enormously more money, almost doubling a practice with only recall alone is what we have done already 30 years ago. Now, one of the very big problems with patients recall with all the doctors was that first of all, they never really did it, and they never did really sending emails, sending fax, sending whatever in the old days was done, and surely not making phone calls. Today, they try to send emails and messages and recall texts and whatever, and the staff, well, probably works better than doing nothing, but it just simply doesn't move the dial. It just doesn't move the dial. The truth of the matter is, as more as we get automatized, as more as we get into the internet, as more as we get completely digitalized, as more the human voice still counts, as better it will work. If you have your own staff doing it, you probably noticed one thing. They will say we're doing it. And if you really count and really check, they're making a few calls a day at the best. There's always other things in the practice which needs to be done. This never gets done. If a doctor doesn't have a fixed and stable crew, of course we also want to use new technology of WhatsApp and texting and emailing and name it, of course. But it got to start and end with actual phone calls. They work like a bomb. Phone calls which follow up on a particular text, or a text which gets put after the phone call and then a phone call again. The problem with this was original staff is never doing it for all purposes. I'm sure you can make comments below and say, no, my staff does it. Great and congratulations and wonderful. Most of the time it's not happening. The second, hiring people. Those people turn over left and right like there is no tomorrow. And you, being a doctor, not a guy who runs a telemarketing shop, you don't like that. So you very soon give up. B, those people cost a fortune. You need to have a chair for them, you need to have a computer for them, a telephone, of course, a space. They can't just sit around the reception because they're making too much noise with their talking, with patients coming in and the receptionists there on the telephone. They need to have a room. And on top of it, they need to work hours. Your office most likely is closed. They need to work till 8, 9 o'clock at night. They need to work on Saturdays, they need to work on Sundays. Certain times, very not doable. Not even yet counting their high salary. So we have a high turnover, need space, need money, need computer, need them working in times your office is not open, so somehow they need to have access to it, blah, blah, blah. All of it makes it not doable. So what about if you can put the space, the hours, and the computer a complete no-no, and the money that people cost, you can make it a fraction. What do I mean by a fraction? I don't know, a quarter. So what about if with tax or with whatever, whichever way, it costs you $20 now and then it costs you only $5 an hour. No, what would that do to you? Not counting that you not need a space, that you not need a computer, that you not need a telephone, and that you can have them working at any given hour because of like the flexibility when you need it. Let me tell you something. Doubling and tripling your business is completely and utterly in reach within a year. And I don't care how big your practice right now is, more or less. For the average person, the average dental office I have worked with in 30 some years, they can always double or triple their practice with the existing physical space. In many cases, even with the existing physical doctors. And that spells money. That spells enormous money in the pocket. Give us a call. The information you're going to get from us, you will actually love it, and it will linger with you for a long forever to come. We need to see whether we can help you. And yes, you need to believe that we can help you. There's no other way around it. And if we do a normal good job, you'll go, oh my God, that is really something I want to do. Give us a call. Bye-bye.